Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
No, let me finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the weekly podcast where we discuss what the hell's going on in pop culture, current events, and everything else in between.
We are your hosts. I'm Janice.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm Jillian. Grab a glass of wine and let's get started.
Welcome back. This is what, episode
22.
22.
Yeah.
Dang, we are really,
Rocking and rolling.
yeah, we're doing big things, y'all. Episode 22.
I know.
Let me finish.
It's going to be weird when we take our break before season 2.
Yeah.
And it's going to be weird not doing this every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think that's the only thing about taking that break is like, there's going to be so much stuff we want to talk about and be like, damn, I wish we had
We
the
just
podcast.
write it down.
Yeah, we'll just have to write it down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do like a summer recap.
What is it
Yeah.
like? Okay, yeah.
Okay, so as you know, I am your host, Stacy, and we have,
Jillian.
And Janice.
all right. How was y'all week?
It was good. It was good. I just had, of course, work and work, and then I started a new. Well, it's not a new show, but
Ooh, what
it's
show?
Succession
Okay.
on HBO. Okay,
Good.
so it's. Everyone talks about Succession and be like, oh my God, it's so good, boo, 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 whatever. So they had their final season. They had their series finale 2 or 3, or maybe 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, I don't like being out of the loop. And HBO is pretty good. They don't have a lot of misses. They cranking out banger after banger after banger. And I was like, all right, let me try this. So it's a slow start. I'm just like, I don't know if this is for me. But I'm getting into that. Like, you get a kind of a look into like the uber rich. We're not talking about like rich. We're talking about wealthy 1%. Mm-hmm. These people are freaks.
Oh, yeah. They don't have nothing to do with their time.
No, it's just like.
But be rich.
No, it's
And
not.
do
It
whatever
freaks
you
in the
want.
sense that though they have a lot of money, it kind of amplifies like normal everyday problems. They don't have to deal with like money problems. But to see the dynamic, because it's a dad and his kids, and the kids two of the kids work for him, and seeing that whole dynamic, I'm like, do they not realize that they're in an abusive relationship with their father?
Nepotism.
Yeah, nepotism. One of the kids works outside, but her boyfriend, now fiance, and they got engaged during the first season of the show. I'm almost done with the first season. And I was just like, this guy that she's marrying, he's such a brown noser, and he will do anything to climb the corporate ladder.
Okay.
And so she's working for his dad.
Most people in corporate world, though.
Yeah, and so he's corporate through and through. He will do whatever it takes to get to the top. And so sometimes because he's, the dynamic between the father and the daughter, he's like, do you really need to? I feel like he is more interested in making the dad happy than making the actual daughter happy that he's in a relationship with. I'm just like, okay, that's a weird relationship. And then the sons, the whole situation is just
Not unusual, because that's your bread and butter, and you want to make sure that's the main thing that's functioning.
Yeah, I feel like he puts his career over his relationship.
Over the relationship.
Yeah.
I think a lot of rich people probably do.
Yeah, so I
More
was just
money, more
like,
problems.
I'm like, these people are really weird. Like sometimes when you see them in social situations, I'm like,
This is a show, right?
It's
not,
a show.
Not reality TV.
no, it's
Okay.
not a show. And
Where do you watch this?
HBO.
Talk about these people are
And I'm
weird.
just like, these people are weird. And
They're
like
not real
the
people,
last
Julian.
episode I watched, they
It's-
actually
yeah, it's a
These are not real
scripted
people.
show.
No, it's
scripted.
It's scripted. And the one of the last episodes I watched was they were with a therapist, and they were trying to like, okay, dad, this, that, and the third. This is how I feel. And he's like, fuck with you. I gave you the best life possible. What do you have to be sad about? And they're like, you don't understand. And I was just like,
My feelings.
sometimes, yeah, it was just like more money, more problems.
See, that's the thing. And I think I'd be really good at being rich. I think I'd be great at it.
I know I would be.
Like, I think I'd be amazing
I'd
at
be
it.
amazing at it.
I'd find the best balance ever.
I would too.
I don't. Sometimes
Like, Jesus, give me the try. I mean, let me try.
Yeah.
I would love to
Put
try.
me in, coach.
Yeah, because it's weird because he has a strained relationship with the patriarch, has a strained relationship with his brother. Of course, he's on marriage at least number 3, and he has a strained relationship with all his kids.
Good for wife number 1 and 2.
Yeah, wife number 1 is dead. I think he's just divorced from wife number 2, which is the
alimony?
majority of because the wife number 1 died. They have one child. They had one child together. Then the 3 main characters, the second wife is the mother of that one.
How many seasons is it?
4. So it's probably be a quick watch for me, but
to watch.
It's just like these people are
It's
really
not
weird.
I like trashy reality TV. It's not trashy.
So
enough for
I
me,
was
so.
the funny thing that you just said that, Stacey, because I was just talking to someone about liking reality TV, because going into how my week went, Vanderpump Rules is having their reunions, and girl, they are getting good. And I'm telling you,
Everyone's talking about it. I'm like, maybe I should just watch.
I'm
for
like,
the train
girl,
wreck.
because I'm telling you,
I
this
missed
girl,
out on it. I'm not gonna go back.
this girl.
No,
has
I mean,
no
I would just
sympathy.
go back just for the reunion, just to see what's going on.
For me, I would say you go back and watch all of the last season, because it's just and then go in watching it knowing they're having an affair the whole time, and just all the shit you see. I'm like, damn, y'all are some brazen ass people. And this girl she has not shed one tear. She has not looked sad. She just looks confused all the time. And the funny thing is, because Lala in the show, her name's Lala, she called her a Bambi-eyed bitch one time. She's like, whatever, Bambi-eyed bitch. And because the girl just looked confused all the time. And her eyes are always big and open, and so she's just sitting there. She's a Bambi-eyed bitch.
That's a bar right there. I need to write that down.
Bambi-eyed
bitch.
And she literally is sitting, because she has to be 100 yards away from one of the girls, because she filed a temporary restraining order against one of the girls.
I heard that. Yeah.
Right. So she has to be 100 yards away from her at all times. So she's sitting in the trailer while everybody's kind of saying different things. And she's just like looking at the monitor like, well, now I feel like I should have wrote Gina a personal note or something. It's just the way she says it. I'm like, is everything clicking to you right now that's going on up here? Like, look, like she's just
Pay attention.
Like, pay attention, baby. Like, she's just like a child. And when you go back,
She's a Bambi.
she's a bitch. She truly is. She really is. Everybody came for Lala for calling her that, and now it's like everybody's like, Bambi-eyed bitch. Like, she really is. And when you when she did, they do one-on-one interviews for it, and she was just like, did you really think, like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you really think you were going to be able to go back and be friends with Ariana? And she said yes. She thought she was going to be able to be friends with the girl. I'm like, you're so disconnected from reality. And
So
then
you sleep with my man, you think we're gonna have?
Yes.
We're gonna be friends.
And at one point, she said, it was so funny because they were talking about how Tom and Ariana, which is the original couple, how they had a lot of sex that month, and it was like in January. I remember all this broke in March, and they were having a lot of sex in January. So you should have seen her face. That's the one time her face gave away a little emotion when they said they were having sex. Her face was like, like, that's not what you told me. Type things. And then when he went to the trailer, she was just like, so it just seems like you guys are a lot more intimate than you made it out to be. And then he freaks out on the cameras and is just like, I don't want to film. I just want to have a private conversation with her. I'm like, okay, so you want to coach her on what to say. But that's what I'm saying. Trash TV, but it's at its finest right now with Vanderpump Rules, baby.
It's at its finest. I heard a lot of people commenting on Tom's behavior on the show, where he tried to spin it, make himself feel like a victim.
He is the biggest gaslighter ever. And it's so funny because throughout the last 10 seasons, he's always talked about accountability, take accountability. And he still can't. Everything he says, he goes, I'm sorry, but. And he has been victim blaming her from the beginning about how they weren't happy, how they weren't having sex, how he's tried to break up with her. He even threw out there that she threatened to kill herself if they broke up, and which was just messed up to the highest level. Because I'm like, first of all, if she really felt that way, do you really think that's something you should have just told the world?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do you not care about her mental health if that's the case? So it was really messed up. So anyways, but on a positive note, my friends Ashley and Chris got engaged. So I went to their engagement party last night.
Congratulations,
So that was really
Ashley.
fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ashley and Chris. So they had a beautiful engagement party. So I was there yesterday, and then we're actually going to do a barbecue later today. So
all right,
That's
nice.
fun. I didn't do much this week. Same old, same old. Now I am getting really. At first, when I first stopped working, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do this, but it's getting real comfortable. I'm really enjoying it now, like not having to work and just
I would.
being at home.
I would
and
enjoy
just
that.
I
do
definitely
whatever
work to live.
I kind of want. Like on a random Tuesday, I can just be like, I'm just going to lay in bed all day. It's kind of nice.
Nice. Oh man, I love those days.
I know, but I'm going to start looking for a job soon.
Do you have like a show or anything you're watching?
I've been so I like Selling Sunset.
Okay, yeah, I
So-
can see you loving that because you like real estate.
Because I'm a realtor. Yeah, so I have been binge watching that, and Kylie has been watching it with me.
Is it really good?
It's really good. And this last season just dropped on Netflix, but I had to go back and watch the prior seasons because Kylie kind of wanted to watch it. So the last season is good because they've added a new girl. And the girl that they added is Brie Tiesi. You probably don't know who she is, but she's one of Nick Cannon's
Baby
mamas.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's number 9 or something.
Oh my god.
And
Hot mess.
yeah, but the show it's crazy. And then there's this other show that season 2 just dropped on Netflix. I haven't watched. I'm gonna watch it probably this week. It's Young, Rich, and African. Have y'all watched that?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
Ooh, but also,
But I watched season 1. I think they just dropped season 2.
you should watch Stacey in particular because I know you like reality TV, but you probably actually like this one too, Jillian. Summer House, Martha's Vineyard on Bravo.
I haven't. I'll watch it.
It's actually, it just came out. It's probably only has like 3 or 4 episodes.
Is that on Hulu?
It's on Bravo.
Wait, but
It's really
wait,
good. It's black. It's like black people version of Summer House, which was like the Hamptons, but it's like Martha's Vineyard is where I guess where all the black people go.
I'll watch
So-
it. But we didn't talk about Power because the season ended.
Oh, child. Okay, yes. Okay, first of all, before we jump into Power,
we'll make it quick. Cause
we'll make that
don't
quick.
watch
But before we
Power.
jump into, 'cause since we were talking about Nick Cannon, I just want to jump in real quick. Anyone who watches Wildin' Out,
Oh yes,
she was a
Oh,
Wildin'
yeah.
Out girl, and actually has 3 kids with one of
Jackie
the
O.
comedians. Jackie O unfortunately passed away this week. From what I can glean from the headlines, it was probably related to some plastic surgery. She had a mommy makeover and had some kind of complication with some
Sad.
doctor in Miami.
Miami.
A doctor, hold on, Dr. Zach. Because she had posted that day about the mommy makeover. The plastic surgeon had posted as well, and wow, 3 kids, and
Sad,
now
and
they don't
she's
have a
so
mom.
beautiful.
She has the youngest is like, I don't even think the youngest is a year yet. So she is
Pretty young.
She's been a longtime partner of
DC
Young
Young
Fly.
Fly.
Yeah, from Wallin' Out. So it's just tragic. I
Very,
mean,
very. And I was just like, dang. I was just like,
Yeah.
you're here one minute and you're just
gone.
gone the next.
Yeah.
She was only 32.
So I always want to make sure like it's perfection's not everything.
but
Like,
I think it's more tragic, honestly, when it's something that you elect.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
of course, yeah.
It's like shit happens, yes. But then it's like when you willingly go into something and then something tragic like that happens, is like, oh man, it's just terrible. Like you're.
That's why you should always think about it before you
Yeah.
have elective
Yeah.
surgery, just
Yeah.
because you really don't know.
You don't.
I mean, it's
Well-
a very small.
Well, you always
like,
think it'll never
percentage,
happen
but
to you.
Yeah,
It's
but
the-
you could be that percentage.
Yeah.
It's the pressure. Oh, so some people like maybe it's worth the cost because you can't take the pressure because we all know that Kanye's mom.
That's what happened with her, too.
It cost her life too. And even after his mom went through that and it cost her life,
He went in.
and had
lipo.
Had lipo right before the wedding because he's just
'Cause
like,
Kim
I'd rather
talked-
risk it.
Kim talked him into it.
Yeah, he goes, I'd rather risk it and risk
Yeah.
my life,
He
even
spoke
though they
about
have
it.
a daughter. Then he goes, I don't want to be taking pictures and people calling me fat.
He went in and had lipo.
It's crazy because I do think that the public eye does put a lot more pressure, and it's like to the point where they can't even help themselves. Cause,
Yeah.
because it does affect their mental health too. When you
Yeah.
have like half the world or millions of people telling you you look this and you look that, or you should fix this or you should fix that. So I mean,
Even
being
though
in the
people
public eye
don't
being
know.
scrutinized is just difficult. I think.
Yeah.
But I will-
especially when we are judging and making assumptions about people when we don't know what's going on in their lives. There's a lot of reason why people gain weight, and it's not just because they're lazy or they just eat too much. There's a lot of, sometimes it's psychological, sometimes it's medication, sometimes it's just how their body is built. We make a lot of, not everybody is going to be rail thin
And
Right.
sometimes it's because you're eating bad and not working
Yeah,
out, and
but-
that's just what it is.
Yeah, and some people, but the thing is we're making assumptions that is that one thing when it could be a plethora of other things.
But then what I also want to add to
none of our
this
business.
situation also is
Exactly.
that to me she was beautiful, and it looks like she's already had other stuff done too, because she's a gorgeous. But I know after because I followed her on Instagram for a while. I know after the last baby, like I think, you know, she had a little stomach or whatever, but she was beautiful. But I also think like when you start this plastic surgery journey, it could become addictive, because the thing is you fix one thing and it highlights something else that's wrong. And then you go back
think
and
is wrong.
You think is wrong, right.
Like,
and then you
and
go
what
back.
constitutes wrong? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, because society has it to where you need to look a certain
Like,
way.
we have got to normalize women bodies. Like,
Exactly.
you're not supposed to have a body of a 17-year-old at 43.
It's not possible.
It's just,
Not
you're
possible.
not.
Right.
So that flat stomach that you're trying to aspire to, I'm like, that's not a normal woman's stomach.
And then, God forbid, you gain a couple pounds, because then your fat comes back, and then you have to go. Then you go get that lipo, and then once you do that, you're like, oh, okay, well my thighs look a certain way. Then you go have surgery on your thighs, and then it's like you're before you know it. Because
It's
now
never ending.
I think you can have surgery. You can fix pretty much anything, right? You can. I mean, I've seen people. Well, not real life guys. I don't know these people. Like I'll
Yeah.
see stuff like on YouTube and stuff. Like
from your tip of your head to your bottom of your
I've
feet.
seen. I saw this one girl. She went out the country, and she vlogged the whole thing, and I was like, I sat there and watched all her little vlogs. I mean, she almost died, but she had like. The scarring is so horrific. Like when
Yeah,
you
see,
when you
that's
see
another
someone
thing,
that
too.
do like she had her arms done and like the big old scar.
Is it because she lost a lot of weight and then she had to like do the skin?
No, because I followed
surgery?
her for a while, and it's like she's thick. Like she got that body, like
Yeah.
big butt. But I guess she thought her arms were kind of fat, so she had.
I just think
arms.
that-
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then she had her thighs
Bat
done.
wings.
Yeah, she had her thighs done, but like they like cut it out and tightened it, and then I was like, oh my
I
gosh.
was gonna say, I think for me, it's more like if you can't achieve the body you have should be the body you want, right? So when you work out and you eat right, however your body looks after that, I feel like just
in
accept
some instances, there are people do the tummy
Of
tucks and
course.
stuff
I
like
mean,
that, which is
and I think okay, do a tummy tuck, but don't go excessive and don't
Yeah.
be having 6-7 surgeries. That's
yeah,
too much.
that's when there's an issue and it
But-
gets addicted and there's a problem there. Anyway, so we are gonna take a quick break and come right back. And we are back. And quickly before we jump into like the main topic, we're just going to briefly talk about Power, because Jillian and I love Power. Janine still ain't watched it. Like
Girl.
She can't get into it, but that's okay because
I haven't really tried, so
It's
I might.
so
And I
one
just
day.
feel like if you go back to like the original Power, you would just love Ghost. Like he's your kind of guy, like,
toxic.
Yeah, he's
As hell.
toxic, all right.
Yep, that's
But-
that's
I
a
like
good
that.
description.
BDE toxic
Yes.
guy. Yep, that's the kind of stuff I like.
Girl. Okay, so
Sad.
what did you think? For me, I was
Okay,
like blown
so
away.
I loved it. I feel like this season saw, really honestly, Malik, Tariq had to finally decide, and towards the end actually made a decision whether he was going to be legit or be all in the drug business. And throughout the whole season, he was trying to get out. How do I get out from
Yeah.
under this? How do I get out
There's no
from under
getting
this?
out.
There's that's the part I'm like, that's the lesson his father had to learn.
Yeah.
There is no getting out.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lesson that Tariq had to learn.
And Brayden.
For this season, I think they had to learn their lesson. Like, look, you're already in. There is no getting out scot-free.
I'm looking forward to the next season to see where they take it, because the way it ended is, I mean, listen, the way it ended, they coming for Tariq, like everybody, and it was
Tariq,
just,
and it's really Tariq and Brayden.
Tariq and Brayden.
just got closer.
Yes, and it's just them against everyone else, and I feel like they're gonna have to call in some reinforcements. So I'm hoping we see a little bit more of, because Tariq gonna need help.
Yeah.
He gonna need Tommy, whatever he can get. Tommy's gonna have to help him too.
We'll see.
And Tasha seemed like she ready to ride. Tasha seemed like
We'll
she ready
see.
to play. Because Tasha sure did pull up and try to take out Monet. So Tasha seems like
And almost
she's ready
succeeded,
for
too.
war. So
Yeah. We'll see what happens, but I feel like I think that was a story arc for both Brayden and Tariq, and also the parallel between Brayden's family versus Tariq's family,
Yeah.
where Tariq, his family made money through the drugs,
Right.
where they're making it a different way,
Yes.
but both are very illegal, and how those two illegal crimes are treated, even though you're ruining people's lives both ways.
Right.
So I found that parallel really
Yeah.
interesting as well. I'm like, man, your family's just as crooked as Tariq's
just as
family.
crooked. And Janice over here snapping selfies. You
'Cause
look
yeah.
cute, girl.
Yes, very
Anyway,
cute.
let's
Because
just
I don't know power.
let's just wrap that up because she's
Yeah.
so uninterested.
Yeah. So we think it's
You-
going to be interesting to kind of see. We're seeing Tariq grow up,
Yeah.
and really, honestly, he keeps throughout the whole season. He kept saying, "I'm not my father. I'm not my father." And
Yeah,
every time I
you are
see him, like, you're doing exactly
you're
what Ghost
definitely
would
your
do.
father. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and Janice, you can put the phone down now and stop
I
taking
just
selfies.
wanted
We're
to get
done.
a good
We are
selfie
done.
for the page.
Okay, so let's get into our main topic. And so
Oh,
there is so in the mornings I listen to like
Kid
just-
Craddock in the morning.
Yeah, the morning show, and there's like a segment that I love. It's like love letters to Kelly, and basically what it is,
Yeah.
people write in letters about certain situations that they're in, and you know,
Kelly's the love expert.
she's a love expert, and she gives advice. Well, there was this one letter that wrote in, and I was like, oh my god, like what the who.
Like-
People are actually dealing with some shit.
By the
right?
time y'all are writing, like they write the stuff in, girl, you know what you should do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should.
So I thought it was interesting, and I ran it by you guys to think like, what would you say? Like, what type of advice would you give? So we're just gonna
I want to play the
we're
clip.
gonna play a clip so y'all can hear what it is that we're dealing with, and I want y'all to also leave comments like, what do you think? We're gonna tell
Yes.
y'all what we think. We have different opinions, probably. I don't know, but y'all, I want to
Probably
know what
not,
y'all.
but-
I want to know what y'all think.
And I want to see also after we do this if it's something that we should incorporate, like do something like this kind of segment. 'Cause
Well,
I think
y'all
it's
know y'all
fun.
can always leave stuff in the DMs. We've had that
'Cause
happen
that's so
before.
fun.
So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
leave questions. But I need y'all to be a little bit more active with us. Y'all like start leaving comments and just give us feedback. So
Yes.
anyway, play the clip.
Okay. Playing the clip. Hold on. 1, 2, 3.
I've been dating my fiance for about a year. We're getting married in September. My fiance, Mason, is divorced, has 3 kids with his ex-wife, 17, 14, and 6. They've been divorced for 3 years. He pays over $5,000 in child support for the 3 kids. He also gave his stepdaughter his credit card for emergencies since she's a college student. She is 22. She has to ask him to use the card, but he pays the bill every month for her. Well, his ex-wife took the card from her daughter and uses it for her expenses and gives it back to her daughter at her leisure. His 3 kids call him for money for every time or anything that they want to do anything. If they want to go to the movies with their friends, do other stuff, they call him for everything. He asked his ex-wife if I can meet the kids. She has refused to allow me to meet them. If she knows I'm around, she says the kids are not available and he can't get them. I advise my fiance to always show kindness to her, to be nice to her and respectful. He let me read her text messages, and she's extremely nasty to him, spiteful and demeaning. She consistently manipulates him and uses the kids at her expense to get more money from him beyond the $5,000 in child support. She sees him as a bank and nothing more. He pays the older 2 kids' car insurance. The cars are paid for thanks to him. He pays the son to attend private school, $11,000 a year. I think he should introduce me to the kids even though his ex-wife said she is not ready. By the way, they both wanted the divorce. After the divorce, before my fiance met me, he was still paying his ex-wife's car note until I asked him to stop. I think it's more than reasonable for him to stop paying to only pay the child support, nothing more, and take the credit card from his stepdaughter. What do you think?
Run.
Couldn't agree with Kelly more.
Yeah, run.
Yes. First of all,
There's a lot to unpack.
a lot to unpack. Let me just say
She
this.
said run.
Yeah. First of all, you're to blame for this whole situation because there's no way I'm going to have a man ask me, will you marry me? Meaning I'm going to be part of your life. And I've never met your children. Not
Right.
going to happen. Not gonna happen.
Not
It was just like
happening.
we can't even think about getting married until I've met your kids and we've established that relationship with the mom and have a solid grounding. We cannot move on and have a life together if that relationship is not good, because that's just going to create more problems in the future. You should never have gotten engaged without meeting these kids.
And I also feel like, as a father, as a man, you have rights to these kids. You're also paying child
Right.
support. It doesn't matter what the ex-wife says. She doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't matter. If you're their father, you're paying child support, and you have your kids, and you're about to get married to someone else, you should let those kids meet her anyway.
I think that's exactly why Kelly's like, run, because he doesn't even have boundaries with this ex-wife.
That's exactly what it is.
You don't.
They're still
You're
too
scared
entwined.
of her for whatever
Exactly.
reason.
Still entwined with each other.
And so you're choosing her over me, and I'm not willing to be second in a relationship.
Exactly.
Second, she's
Almost
like,
at this
she's
point, not
like-
even really to your kids. Like, we should be making those decisions together.
Exactly.
She's
Because
coming.
I'm supposed to be your wife, so that means this is our life together.
Yeah. Now the
So-
expenses as far as the kids, whether on top of the child support, if that was my child and my child's like, hey, I want to go to the movies,
Yeah.
mom's not going to give it to me or dad's not going to give it to me. If that's my child, I'm gonna make sure that child.
That's-
When it
that's
comes to
different.
expense to the kids, but paying her car note, no.
Exactly. So why does he not have those correct
But not
boundaries
only
up
that,
with
Using the daughter's credit card for your expenses, that's a hell no.
First off, she's okay. There's not a big deal about him being the stepdad on him doing that, because that's fine. He was in her life and he gave her the credit card. Like,
Oh, I don't think that was made clear. I think that's made clear later on. But just to be clear, what Stacey's talking about is he has 2 kids with the ex-wife.
No,
the
he
other
has
one is
3
a
with
stepdaughter.
He has 3 kids with the ex-wife, 2 younger ones and one that's 17, and then he has a stepdaughter that's 22 in college.
Oh, so there's 4 kids total. I thought
Yes.
there was 3 kids total.
and then the
But
stepdaughter.
Needless to say, the oldest one is not
not
biologically his, but he's been raising her.
And
So
he
to
gave-
him,
She's
it's
an-
his daughter.
Yeah,
and she's
so
an
he
adult.
gave her the credit card because she's in college, and he pays it every month, but the mom just comes and takes it and uses it to her leisure, and he's still paying it. That's where boundaries come in. No, I'm giving her this credit card for emergency purposes only. If you're going to be using it, then I'm taking it away from her.
And
I
then
wouldn't. You know what I would do? Call my bank and be like, me nor the authorized signer, you did these. These are fraudulent charges, and get her ass in trouble. And I will press charges. Boom.
But he has to be on board. He has to be on board
he
with
needs to
that.
set boundaries.
Yeah.
And if he
No,
tells
I mean, I'm just saying, if
tell
that
the
was me.
Tell the stepdaughter, hey, this is for you only. If your mom comes and takes it, then I'm taking the card away from you. At least she can. No, he has 0 boundaries, none whatsoever.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Now, I don't think she has a right to tell him that you can only pay the child support and nothing more. No, that's not how it works. These are his kids, and if he is financially able, he should be. He should give the kids whatever
they need.
whatever they need, not just
Or
what the-
want.
or want, right? Not just
Right.
needs, but want. So, but I'm with Kelly. Run. This is way too much drama, and it seems to me, yes,
Because they have been together how long? 2 years? A year. So that, yeah, I agree with you in the sense that I would never have said yes to because now if you're saying yes to an engagement, that means that I want our lives to become one. How can I make my life one when I don't even know fully?
I've never even met your children.
I've never met the kids.
I've never met your kids.
Exactly. I don't know your life. And these kids are not school age kids. These are not like really young kids. These are all kids that can speak up for themselves and say, I want to go or I don't want to go. I want to meet her. I don't want to meet her.
One of them is 6. There's a 6-year-old. I
Oh.
forgot how the middle one is.
11,
and
you
then
said?
6, 11, and like a 17-year-old, and then the older one is
So
the
the
stepchild.
11 and 17-year-old, like, you should have no problems with that. Like, especially the 17-year-old.
Even if you're like, hey, I don't know this woman, I don't feel her. Okay, you can be a part of that process where when we meet,
Like,
you're
how do you-
present there when we meet.
Right.
But I'm going to be a part
You
of your
have-
life. I got to meet everybody. I got to meet the mom. I got to meet the
Shit,
kids.
maybe.
First of all, I don't want anyone that has that much baggage. I'm sorry.
I mean, the older
too
you
much.
get, the more baggage there is. I
It's
mean,
just too
life.
much. You have
That's like to say,
But
if
she
you were to
chose-
get a divorce right now, you would still, you don't want somebody to judge you on having kids.
okay. It's not that, but you need to have
Boundaries.
Not that would
you need to
happen.
have boundaries, because the thing is, it's not that he has baggage. There's just
Exactly.
no boundaries because
Exactly. I don't think it's the baggage. It's how he's
I guess when I
packing up
say
his luggage.
when I say baggage, I don't mean the kids. I just mean the fact that he was still paying
The ex-wife is baggage because she's still fully involved in your life.
Exactly. There's just too much entwined there. Why y'all are separate? Y'all are divorced.
They
Why are you
both
still?
wanted the
Why were you
divorce.
still paying
Like,
her?
why are you paying her car note?
car payment? And why is she talking to you the way
And
she
that's-
does, sending you those
And that's one
messages and
thing.
stuff?
It's one thing to pay her card note up until you get a girlfriend. Because once you got me, you should have stopped all that.
Well, she asked him to stop, and he stopped. Apparently,
Which he should have. I'm glad he did. I'm glad
he
he
shouldn't
didn't
have
put
been paying it to begin with. They had no
And
boundaries.
listen, when you have a divorce and you have your terms, and maybe one of the terms was, and then I'll continue paying your car note if we do this. That's fine. Work your little deal out. I don't really care, but I know once I'm involved, at that point, we should be making these decisions together because I'm now your partner, not her.
Right. This situation would not work for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, of course it wouldn't. I mean, I think that the ex-wife, I mean, that is just complete spite. The
She's
ex-wife.
manipulative.
She's
She's
just
manipulating
manipulative. She wants to still, because I guess the guy's really, really well to do. She wants to still live
She
that
wants
same
to have
lifestyle.
her cake and eat it too.
And
She-
she's using the kids. That's every time the
Exactly.
kids are supposed. When she's around and the kids are supposed to
She's
come,
using them
then
as
she's like, "Oh, the
pawns.
kids can't come for whatever reason." Listen, if I'm paying
And
child
I'd be looking
support
at
and
this fool
these are
like,
my kids,
then lie to her.
if these are my kids, and he has a right to these kids. These are his kids. He's paying. Clearly, he's paying child support and taking care of his kids.
Right.
She can't tell him what to do.
And if she is, it's because it's literally just spite. It has nothing to do with her children's well-being. If this
And it'll
person's-
probably get worse after they get married if she chooses to still continue with the wedding.
I think that's pretty much what Kelly said. Like, she's saying run, not for anything else except for you do not have healthy boundaries with your ex-wife, and it will only get worse if at this point you're still letting it go on this long and we're engaged. Like, I don't know if you're ever going to stand up to her. And at that point, I don't really want to be the one standing up to her because it's really not my place.
It's not up to it's not
It's not
up
my
to me to
place.
stand up to her.
Technically, it's my business for sure.
Yeah.
Because you're my fiance, but it's not really my place to get. I'm not gonna get in her face. I'm gonna be looking at you like, go tell her,
Right.
and you should be listening to me as your partner.
But it almost seems like he has no backbone because that's what she's saying. She feels
he
like
don't.
she should still meet, like he should let her meet the kids
I think
regardless
that a
of
lot
what
of
the
men
wife
do
says.
get manipulated in that sense where I feel like he's just being manipulated and he doesn't, and he's probably really scared to lose contact with his kids.
Or sometimes it's
which
just to keep
who
the
knows if they
peace.
even have like a full custody.
He's paying child support. They should. He's
Yeah.
paying
Oh, he
$5,000
did say paying child support. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you could also sometimes when you have custody agreements, sometimes it's not official through the court. You guys just come up.
made a agreement.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We
Yeah.
don't know if it was a court order or if he just decided that between those two, hey, I'll pay $5,000 a month. I'll pay your car note, and then he probably, they know. I think most people know that the court system does typically side with the mother, so maybe he's scared to go through that whole system and possibly lose time with his kids.
Yeah, and
that could be
actually, I'm going to push
factors.
back on that because when it comes to the court system in favor, that's not really true. As long as you as a father show up and say, hey, I'm interested and you
They
are
still favor the
stable,
mother.
they will do 50-50.
They will do 50-50,
will-
but they favor the mother.
Not typically, because when it says that it favors
typically.
the mother is because the mother is the one that actually wants custody, not that the fact that the father wants custody and be like, nah.
No, typically, go look at the statistics.
No, I have.
Y'all argue
Favorite-
that one out.
I have.
They
And-
favor the mother.
Yeah, first of all, most custody agreements are done outside of the court system, and when it is inside the court
Mediation.
system, or not even mediation, so mediation or if it goes through the court, if the father wants custody, and the court would be like, okay, fine, they're doing what's the best interest of the child, not because you're a mother, so I'm gonna
They usually have
Well,
rulings
no.
of 50-50. It's
primarily,
not typically 50-50.
primarily,
No, because most of the times when it comes to statistics, it's because the father is not interested in having custody.
Okay.
So that's what's factored in the numbers. The reason why women get more custody is because they're the ones that want
Can I-
custody,
can
not
I-
that the fathers want it
Can
and
I
not
jump
getting
in?
it.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump in.
Go ahead.
Typically, most parents do have 50-50. However, the mom is usually the primary custodial parent.
Why?
So I had 50-50 with my ex-husband,
Mm-hmm.
but I was the primary custodial parent, so I had her majority of the time. But we legally still had it was still
50-50.
considered
It was
it's still
50-50,
considered 50-50,
but not 50-50
but
in
I,
time.
No, so legally it's 50-50. Like he has the rights to her and to like he can make decisions and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's considered 50-50. But most of the women are usually the primary custodial parent. And a lot of times it's not because the courts, is because most men don't want to be the primary parent. And one parent is going to usually be unless you're doing 1 week on, 1 week off.
I think that they tried to get better with the court system, but I do feel like they, in the past, have favored the mother.
No.
I wouldn't say it's favorite. I just feel like most moms
saying like no, but I just disagree with you.
I'm just saying.
We're just in a disagreement.
No, I'm just saying, but the numbers don't bear out what you're thinking. I'm just saying when it comes to
not
the
even
actual,
back in the day. Never.
No, because everyone, and then that comes down to the patriarchy. When it comes down to custody, women are expected to be the caretakers,
primary caregiver.
So it's not because fathers can't. It's just because it's not socially acceptable.
Janaise, I think you might be a little confused because usually the mom is the primary custodial parent.
Yes.
Yeah, but they still have 50-50 coverage with the father. It's still a 50-50 coverage thing. But
it's
one
pretty
parent
even.
is the primary custodial parent.
But if the father wants it, it's pretty fair. If the father wants to be a part of their child's life, it is fair. But the father has to want to be a part of that child's life. I want to be a caretaker. I'm just saying that
do
number
want to be a part of their kids' lives.
And it's not
nowadays. I don't come across a lot where it's like,
the courts is not going to be like, well, I have a mother and father, both want to take care of the child. Well, because you're a man, no, I don't think you can do it. So I'll give it to her.
It's not what I think is happening. That's not necessarily what I think is happening. I just think that a lot of the times when it's like, okay, both of y'all have a job, both of y'all are doing good, both of y'all obviously care about your kids, obviously both of you guys are involved. I do think that they tend to, as far as physical custody, bear with the mom.
No, it's usually 50-50, but one is a primary.
Looking at
one is Teen Mom.
No, one is a primary parent, and one, because usually how that is determined is based on where the child goes to school. So they'll say, okay, so you'll be the primary parent. You'll have her during the week, and he gets her like every other weekend or just every weekend. That's typically how they determine who's the primary custodial parent. But both parents actually have, majority of the time, both parents have 50-50 custody.
Physical custody.
Yeah.
It's just one parent has more time because
I guess
of
I'm
other
going
reasons.
off of things like when again, like I said, like with like Teen Mom, like some of those dads were really fighting hard to have their kids and they just weren't.
That's that's Teen Mom.
Which one?
Kaylin and Joe.
So
Joe was very involved in his kid's life,
and he never got custody.
No, she always ended up winning the court cases.
So
Kaylin.
she has full custody, or does he not?
I think she has like. It's like she has the majority custody.
She has
because she has majority of the say, and I do feel like she
it's
abused
probably
that.
50-50 custody, but she is the primary custodial parent.
And she moved him out of state too. She moved the kids out of state, and she got the ruling to get that done.
You do that. It usually depends.
Favoring the mom.
In that case. On other things, it usually depends.
Yeah, that's not a one-off, but I'm just saying the numbers don't bear what you're saying. So we're not going to pluck one situation and be like, well, this is what really happens all the time. The numbers bear out that when a father wants custody, they'd actually get custody when it actually is in their favor if they want it. Because they're really the court at the end of the day doesn't really care who has custody. It's what's best for the child.
But I used to watch it's this black girl and she has glasses and she has like a family court. Oh, girl, she'd be good. I be watching the YouTube videos. I don't remember her name, but
Judge.
It's called
Toller.
It's a black woman with glasses and she usually has braids.
I know Toller, but I don't think she has
and
braids.
It's like family court, and I'm telling this story, but you have to know it's for the TV.
Oh yeah, remember when it was? I remember
it's got to be for the TV because there's no way these are.
It was
real
YouTube,
stories.
and I think there's one situation where the mom had custody. And she was asking for more money. And she's just like, well, do you work? No, I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's my job. And he's like, okay, cool. Okay, fine, whatever. And because she challenged it, she ended up getting less. He's just like, you can work and you choose not to work.
I saw that one.
And then she's just like, what do you mean I'm getting less? She goes, what do you mean?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you're choosing not to work. And mind you, she lived at home with her mom, which means she didn't have to pay any rent.
She was so proud too.
She was just like, yeah, I don't pay for anything.
I'm getting less now? Yes. To go get a job.
Yes, I remember that one. But yeah.
Yes, like it was like Yeah, I remember
think
that one.
it's- I don't-
She
I
was
don't
a
remember the
stay-at-home
name.
mom. I think she only had like one child too.
It was one child.
And then she was just like, basically, she wanted to stay in like the really luxurious like neighborhood they lived
Oh
in.
no, this
She
is
wanted
not. This was different because they
she
didn't
wanted-
look like anything luxurious.
No,
Oh no, she like it was very much. He made a lot of money, and
Yeah.
she did not work, and she wanted alimony, child support, and she wanted him to continue paying the mortgage on this like $8,000 mortgage house. I was like, girl,
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't feel like I should have to get a job.
Yeah.
Like you're getting a divorce.
Yeah,
you
I
don't
think
have anybody.
they're just like the judge was like, and I think the father was paying the health. So what it is, they redid the calculations and and then the fact that he goes, okay, so this is how much he should pay, and because he pays the health insurance, he's on the child is on his health insurance. She subtracted the cost of having that child on the child, so she got even less, and she was just like, wait
She
a
was
minute,
pissed,
she
yeah.
was pissed.
I did see that
I said,
episode.
see, sometimes you gotta let a sleeping
Yeah.
dog lie. You mess
Support
yourself.
court with Judge Vonda B. I'm telling you, they have YouTube. It's a YouTube. Like I'll go and watch the clips. It's hilarious. She's hilarious, and it's because she be making those people be like, she'd be like, no, stop.
Yeah.
You're not fooling me. Next, Judge Vonda
Well,
V.
Yeah. Anyway, so I would think that we're all in agreement on this one, right? That she definitely needs to run and just let the situation go because
Run, girl.
I don't think there's any fixing this. It's,
Yeah.
It's just
Unless
too
there's
much.
major
She should have a
changes,
long
she-
time ago put her
Yes.
foot down.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
this point,
She
yeah.
just got in too deep.
I want to know what everyone else thinks, though. So y'all heard it. Just leave me your opinions.
Yeah. Leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't have anything else, I guess we can get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna wrap up. Go back to our Sundays, but guys, send us questions and stuff. I like this whole love letters kill the idea. Love letters to let me finish.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'm out of here. Y'all.
All right, have a happy
Bye.
weekend, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the platform you're listening on and leave us a review.
We want to support local businesses, so if you'd like us to shout out your business, or if you have a topic suggestion, or even questions for our QA section, we want to hear from you. So reach out to us at letmefinish@gmail.com.
You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Let Me Finish. Don't forget that the E in me is the number 3. You can find me at New Jillian Houdis on Instagram. Stacy, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Mrs. Cams01. I'm also on TikTok, Mrs. Cams01, MRSKAMS01.
And Janice, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Uniquely Janice, and Facebook and TikTok, I'm just Janice Housen.
Okay. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you guys then.